the July 11, 2023 Hempstead Town Board meeting. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Clayton.
I am here.
Councilman Dunn.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby. Here. Councilwoman Miller. Here. Councilman Moscarella.
Present.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Here.
And I'm going to ask Councilwoman Miller to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise, place your hand over your heart. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Madam Clerk, would you please call the first public hearing?
Yes, we have a proposed local law regarding regulations and restrictions to limit parking at Oceanside.
Okay, any member of the board wish to heard of this? We do not have any slips. Any member of the public wish to heard item number one? If not, please have a motion.
I move that the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor.
Aye.
Councilwoman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Moscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding parking or standing prohibitions in Levittown and Seaford.
Okay, any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips on item number two. Anybody wish to be heard on item number two that did not sign in, please let me know. If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second motion.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Moscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding arterial stops at Franklin Square, Merrick, North Valley Stream, Seaford, near Valley Stream, and Woodmere.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips on item number three. Anybody wishes to be heard on item number three that did not sign in? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Moscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed local law regarding pay-in parking only in East Meadow.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips on item number four. Anybody wishing to be on item number four that did not sign in? If not, may I please have a motion?
I move the public hearing be closed and the board adopt the item.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Gooseby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Moscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the next item.
We have a proposed handicap parking in public streets in Unionville.
Any member of the board wish to be heard? I do not have any slips on item number five. Anybody wishing to be on item number five that did not sign in? All right, may I please have a motion?
I move that the board.
Come on, yeah. Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Supervisor Guzzi.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Madam Clerk, please call the administrative calendar.
On the administrative calendar today, we have items 6 through 44.
Any member of the board wish to hear the administrative calendar? We'll do a couple of slips on the administrative calendar. We'll start with signing in with project. Morning, Ms. Vegas, if you give me your name and address for the record, thank you.
I'll take it to Unidale. Item 6, Unidale. I would like to know the address of this location of this home. Of this building.
Just identify yourself and be there.
Morning Supervisor, Member of the Board, Dan Leo, Deputy Commissioner of the Building Department. Could you repeat the question, please?
And item number 6, she's looking for the address of the property in Union.
Which, we got several.
Unidale, it says item 6, right?
Item 6, we have several. And are you referring to 581 Emerson in Unionville?
4.
She's looking for the address. I want to just give
The
it.
addresses of the properties, please. And thank you.
It's 4.
John?
581 Emerson, we have 897 Front Street, which was an issue of graffiti which was taken care of, and 1065 Front Street, Uniondale, which was an open and abandoned. A car had gone into a building, and on the first one with 581 Emerson, there was a hole in the front yard which was taken care of, and an in-ground pool which was removed.
Okay, and we do have an issue. I know, I've spoken with the buildings about this, 576 Unionville Avenue. It's a blighted,
Is that on the administrative calendar or is that?
no, but 576 Unionville Avenue, we wish the signage would, that those signage would be removed from that location. Item number 16, ratifying and confirming the purchase of event cancellation by insurance for the town of Hempstead, salute to veterans in concert and fireworks display on July 1st. Now, I was here in June, and I spoke regarding the outrageous use of, and I don't call them fireworks, I call them explosives, in the town of Hempstead and Nassau County. Now, this is a salute to veterans. This is so hypocritical to me, because you have, you're saluting veterans with fireworks and explosives that go on for 6 months out of the year here in the town of Hempstead. Veterans that have fought and sacrificed their lives for our country. I'll wait till you finish.
No, you can keep going.
I'll wait till you
No, you keep going or listen to it.
Okay, I don't like to disrespect you.
No one's disrespecting,
Okay.
no, that's okay.
Veterans who have lost their lives, fought for our country, come back to their homeland, and they have to listen to these explosive fireworks that permeate our communities. I see you, Supervisor Clavin, on shark patrol at the beaches, and that's fine, okay? But people choose to swim in the waters with sharks, okay? And I do not want anyone to get hurt. You have the drones, you're looking for the sharks, that's good. You're trying to help the people enjoy their summer. But why don't you help the people enjoy their summer who pay their taxes, the residents who pay these high taxes in Uniondale, who can't eat, or not even in Uniondale, across the town of Hempstead, across Nassau County, who pay these high taxes, the third highest taxes in the nation, who cannot enjoy their backyards, who cannot enjoy their summers because they're listening to these explosive fireworks the whole time, okay? The whole summer, they cannot enjoy. They start in May and they go through October. So almost a 6 months time frame that these explosive fireworks are shot off through our communities, and our veterans, our animals, our dogs and cats who, they suffer from, the fear of these loud noises and explosions, our elderly, our people with heart condition, our veterans, You need to do something about these fireworks. And our police are doing what they're supposed to do, but they need stronger laws. They need laws with teeth. And
Okay, thank you, Ms. Jacobs. Just so you know, most residents choose not to swim with sharks. This is number 16's relation to the fireworks show that was presented to our veterans where people were not had a mandatory attendance. They could voluntarily come down, and I'm happy to report, and great work to our Parks Commissioner. We had 10,000 people who came down to enjoy not only the fireworks, but they enjoyed the concert of Casey and the Sunshine Band. It was a fun time had by all. Councilman Muscarelli was there very late, and we appreciate it as always. Next, I'm going to call up Felix Bercacci. Hi, Mr. Bercacci. Can you give me your name and address for the record? Thank you.
Felix Bercacci, Franklin Square. Items 14, 15, 34, and 35 all reference agreements. I didn't see any agreements in the resolutions. Are there written agreements for these resolutions, and will they be signed by the Parks Commissioner?
John, the town attorney, is there written agreement?
There are written agreements that will be signed by the Parks Commission.
Okay, thank you.
Where are these written agreements? Why aren't they in the resolutions? You know?
Well, I believe there should have been some of them up there, but Mr. Bercacci, if you ask my office, we'll provide them to you. I see Commissioner Zangler here. He'll get me those documents and we'll get them to you.
Okay, 'cause I don't want you to say that I foiled too much when this should be part of the document, because you can't really...
I don't think I said anything about foiling just now. I just think you said you did the
I
document.
understand that, but...
Well, I'm saying you brought up foiling. I don't know what had to do with the other.
Don, please, you know...
Mr.
You're
Bercacci.
getting ridiculous.
Mr. Bercacci, you were asking about agreements and then you were talking about foils. I was trying to understand your mindset.
Item number 23.
Yes, sir.
There's a proposal, once again, the proposal is not in the resolutions. Can I get that also?
Absolutely.
And in the future, when you have agreements, you know, that spend taxpayer money, it would be helpful and within, you know, in accordance with the law to provide those agreements so people could review them, you know, because I like to see what we're getting for our money when I see an agreement, not only how much it's going to be spent, but, you know, the conditions under those agreements. So it'd be helpful if you do that in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bercacci, as always. Next I have Ms. Meredith. Good morning, name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good morning. It's still morning, isn't it? You have my name, you just said it, so we'll go with that for now. Where does one begin in this era of rollbacks and setbacks and dropbacks? We're here once again to address the issues that are impacting our residents. Oh, I'm sorry. We're here to address the special interests of our elected officials that don't address the interests of our residents. Item of concern, well, since you're not looking at me, I don't have to necessarily look at you. I can look at the people who voted most of you in, you know, after many of you got appointed and then just kind of used the power of promotion to maintain that position. But I'm just always interested when we talk about resolutions and authorizing purchases. Love the fact that we got that event cancellation and bring insurance for the salute to veterans, but we still limit the support system on a daily basis for our veterans. And why is that? We brag about the number of veterans that we have here in the town of Hempstead, but yet still 1 in 4 are still homeless. The VA just put out a notification that there's a spike in veteran suicide at 25%, when we were already talking about at least 44 veterans either attempt or actually commit suicide. Just yesterday, 3 men, not sure if they were veterans, but 3 men jumped in front of a subway train in New York City. We have a problem. We have a problem. I'm standing before a delegation that does not represent me or my interests. And now the Supreme Court is saying that I don't have a right to challenge that based upon the discriminatory practices for over 400 years that have impacted me as a person of color and a woman. We have a problem. So before anybody tells me that this is not what I'm here to talk about, you're wrong. Before anybody tells me that I need to speak about a specific issue, when the issue is not going to get addressed anyway, you're wrong. So the fact that I'm standing here with combat boots on, just to let you know, the residents are getting ready. You may not see them here because they still have to work their 2 and 3 jobs. And I'm just very disappointed, not surprised, that the lone representation that you have with the 3 titles sitting there had yet to speak about an issue that put her in that same position. She's got now job insecurity, like the rest of us. I know my
Okay, thank you, Ms. Meredith.
and I will
Obviously,
take my seat.
thank you, Ms. Meredith. Thanks for not addressing anything in the administrative calendar. Does anybody else have,
I
not
did
signed in
the
that wishes?
administrative calendar.
I know that, Ms.
So
Chase,
just
you
so you
signed
know, I
in.
did.
Thank you so much. Ms.
Oh,
Chase?
you're welcome. Anytime.
Okay.
And I'll be back later.
Good morning, Ms. Chase. If you give me your name and address for the record, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Stephanie Bates. I'm from the hamlet of Lakewood.
How you doing?
Some of the residents, NAACP, we have concerns about the landscape maintenance, overgrown trees, grass, and weeds located on the intersection of Peninsula Boulevard and Lakewood Avenue. North and south side of the street, it's just really overrun and unkept. It was where the Living with the Bay project was, and it needs to be maintained. It's just really horrific. Trees overgrown, and a sidewalk should be on the south side of the street, but people, people have to walk into the street. Also, I'm concerned with the blight on Eagle Avenue and Woodfield Road. I don't know what's going on there. It was an apartment and unfortunately a building that burned down. And right now, all sorts of junk construction is in this yard. I guess they bought the property, but it looks horrific for the beginnings of a residential area. It's just horrible. Also, there's a strip of stores. Half of them are occupied and the other half, it's just empty. And the owner does not keep the property up. I just wish that you would look into the situation. I don't know why. It just seems odd that in the middle of an African-American neighborhood that's really pretty nice, all of a sudden it's blight. And I would just wish you would look into it. Thank you.
No problem. First off, my building commissioner right there is going to follow you in the back, and we're going to have somebody go down and take a look at that property. Is anybody here from Highway? Okay. Peninsula Boulevard is a county road, right? And Lakeview is I think they're both county roads, so we'll reach out to the county to find out if they can clean up that area. And I know the state did work down there, and they were a little messy. I did notice that myself. So when we can follow up and ask the county to trim the trees and maintain their roads so they're nicer in that area. All right? Thank you. I don't have any other slips on the administrative calendar. Anybody who did not send in wishes to be heard? Okay, now may I please have a motion?
I move the administrative calendar from 6 through 44.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Oscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Aye.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Supervisor Clayton.
Aye.
Councilman Dunn.
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Boothby.
Aye.
Councilwoman Miller.
Aye.
Councilman Muscarella.
Aye.
Councilwoman Rogers.
Aye.
Okay, now that the formal town board meeting has been adjourned, the town board will remain to listen to the comments of residents, and we'll start off with Felix Bacacci.
Felix Bacacci, Franklin Square. On June 25th, 2004, 19 years ago, the Floral Park Dispatch ran a story titled, Hempstead Town Memorializes President Ronald Reagan. Here are some passages from the article. Hempstead Town Supervisor Kate Murray, along with the town board, hosted a memorial program in honor of the nation's 40th President, Ronald Wilson Reagan. During the ceremony, Supervisor Murray reflected on the manner in which President Reagan brought a renewed sense of civility to public service and trust in government. The ceremony took place in the Town Hall courtyard, which the supervisor is proposing to be named Ronald Reagan Plaza. Who would have guessed 16 years later this town board would unanimously vote to rename this space without even acknowledging the former president they purport to care so much about? Renewing trust in government requires that government officials be honest and transparent. On April 24th, I foiled a dog training agreement ratified by the town board on February 28th. On May 22nd, I received a response from the FOIL officer that requested documents could not be provided within the 20-day period required by FOIL, and a more reasonable date would be May 30th. On June 12th, I received a reply from the town which contained just the resolution published by the town prior to the February 28th board meeting. So to be clear, the town delayed responding to my FOIL request only to provide me with a document I did not ask for that was available online for the last 3 months. Taking the town's response at face value, there is no written agreement with the dog trainer vendor. In substance, all the resolution says is the town agreed to pay the vendor not more than $3,500, but did not provide the rate of pay, certifications required by the vendor, or if the vendor had to carry his own insurance. If this is true, these questions come to mind. What was the vendor's rate of pay? What certifications were required by the vendor? Did the vendor have to carry insurance? And why wasn't there a written agreement with the vendor? I understand these questions cannot be answered during this period for reasons never fully explained by our town officials, but who can I meet with after the meeting to discuss these issues? Can I meet with somebody afterwards to discuss?
Scott, you've been coming here talking for a long time, so was there
Other people, you say you can meet with other people. They can
Mr.
have-
Supervisor, where is...
No, John.
Selective support. Let the attorney speak, he's paid by us.
No, Ms. Meredith, please stop screaming out there.
I'm not
You have your
screaming.
opportunity to speak. That's it, Mr. Bacacci. We're listening to you and taking notes.
Yes.
I'm asking to talk to someone about this.
We'll take it under our budget.
But why can't I talk to someone like other people get to talk to someone?
Wow.
Thank you. Have a great one. Next, I have Pilar Garcia.
Trust in government, right?
Good morning, Ms. Garcia. Your name and address for the record?
Pilar Garcia, 35 Long Lane, 11
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. The reason why I'm here is because I'm a retired police officer in New York City, and I've been paying my taxes in New York and Long Island, and I found myself, since I've been retired, noticing that there's so many people living without paying taxes, having multiple people living in one house, and these places are in Uniondale, particularly a house in 382 Maple Grove in Uniondale. And the house is completely filled with people and also animals. Many, many animals, and I feel like it's time for me to say something. They're hoarding people, they're hoarding everything in that house, and also the animals. And I'm afraid eventually there's going to be something, a fire, something happening. There's a lot of lives that are at stake there. That's the reason why I'm here.
Great.
First, I want to thank you for your service. I'm going to ask you to stick around. I know one of our building commissioners is outside. If the councilwoman's assistant right there, if you raise your hand, that's the deputy supervisor's assistant. She's going to do the follow-up with you right now. We'll get the address and we'll work with the building department. And thank you very much for identifying. We appreciate it. Again, thank you for your service. Next, I have Pearl Jacob.
Just did what you said you don't.
That's okay. You don't have to say anything aloud. Good afternoon. Oh, still good morning, Ms. Jacobs. If you could just give your name and address for the record.
Jacobs, Uniondale. I hope you received my email over the weekend. You read it yesterday, hopefully, and I'm just going to read it here for public record. I and many other Uniondale residents are against the proposed casino at the Nassau County Hub. A casino will have a negative impact on Uniondale's quality of life and the quality of life for all Nassau residents. A casino will not be good for our environment. The New York State Department of Environmental Conservation has designated Uniondale as a community that is disproportionately affected by pollution and climate change. A casino at the Nassau Hub would dramatically increase traffic on Hempstead Turnpike, causing increased health, safety, and environmental concerns. Hempstead Turnpike is listed as one of the most unsafe roads for pedestrians in the tri-state and consistently ranks in the top 5 of the most dangerous roadways in New York State year after year. With the additional traffic that a casino would generate, Hempstead Turnpike would very likely take first prize for the New York State's most dangerous roadway. Increased traffic would result in increased pollution. The further deterioration of Uniondale's air quality would become an even greater cause for concern. The data indicates that minority youth in Nassau County have a substantially higher number of asthma-related hospitalizations than that of Caucasian and Asian youth that reside in Nassau County. Constructing a casino at the Nassau Hub in Uniondale's backyard, a community that has been identified by New York State as a community that is disproportionately affected by air quality and climate change, would be perceived as environmental racism. It is the fact that our current infrastructure will not support the increased traffic that a casino would bring, as Nassau County has very few alternative roadways to alleviate traffic congestion on its main roadways. The Medical Parkway prohibits commercial vehicles, buses, and trucks. Where will all the additional traffic go? In addition to our air quality, there is great concern for our sole source aquifer. Currently, there is no up-to-date information regarding the quality of available usage of our water supply, as the town of Hempstead has the responsibility to conduct the environmental impact study for the proposed project at the Nassau Hub. And given the fact that Uniondale has been identified by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation as a community that is disproportionately affected by air pollution and climate change, it is imperative that the environmental impact study be conducted in a fair and transparent manner. The residents of Uniondale, the surrounding communities, and the 40,000 students that attend Hofstra University, Nassau Community College, Uniondale Charter School, Kellenberg Memorial High School, the students that visit Museum Row, and Memorial Sloan Kettering patients deserve to live, learn, and receive medical treatment in a safe, healthy, and untroubled environment. I do have this picture, Councilman Goolsbee, where you would voice them in, and you and Celia Bino were together. That's great, beautiful picture. I love your red.
All right, that's a good note. Thank you, Ms. Jacobs. Next we'll call Ms. Jacobs. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ms. Jacobs. Mr. Jacobs, James Jacobs, thank you. All right. I'm glad you had a good time at the concert. They've got like 40,000 people. That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Thank you, Mr. Jacobs. Good morning to you. If you give your name and address for the record, that would be fantastic.
Your mic is still on, so we don't need to hear your sidebar if that's the case.
Good morning, Supervisor Don S. Cliff.
Thank you very much.
Supervisor Goolsbee, that was a nice picture you got at the concert. My question is basically to you and the town attorney. When you do have the thing come before you for the casino or for the EPA, environmental protection impact, will that be a public meeting, everybody can attend?
Mr. Jacobs, on anything that will involve the casino or apparently the hospital that wants to build there, everything's going to be open. We're going to have public hearings. We'll have everybody coming down.
Will everybody be doing, you find a timely fashion? Because I know some.
Yeah, no, I will. We're going to absolutely let you know. And I said to you, we'll have an open public meeting.
May I speak?
Yes, the question.
Yeah, I know, but my thing is that try not to talk to one. Try to be respectful. Okay.
But I was trying to be respectful to you now.
Excuse me. Finish, please. May I ask you, because sometimes things that, like, certain things happen that they make an adjournment on or something, a statement, and then nothing happens after the fact. because I look at things happening in Unionville, vacant lots and things of that nature. And I just want to make sure that there will be a public hearing, so all participants can put their opinion into that.
Yes.
All right, thank you. But we will have a notification, right? Mailing or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And you'll let us know in a timely fashion, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great day. Next, I'm going to call up Elaine Priester. Morning, Ms. Priester, if you give me the name and address for the record.
This is Priester, Uniondale.
Thank you.
I'm going to speak on democracy. Okay, now, it's supposed to be a democracy for all people to have their say. But it seems that it's not like that. It seems like it's a dictatorship. We're supposed to sit down and listen to everything that somebody dictates to us, which is not fair. And as far as it's concerned now of what Mr. Mascarella, I appreciate what you did for picking up all the trash that was over near over Old Country Road there. I appreciate it. It looks good. And another thing for Mrs. Gooseby, I'd like to say, you see, we do, some of those people that assume that comes out the ghetto, we do look out for our community, which is the whole of Nassau, not only Uniondale, but the whole of Nassau County. And thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. You have a great day. Next, I have Lisa Ortiz. Good morning, Ms. Ortiz, if you give your name and address for the record.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Ortiz, and I'm from Lakeview. I am here today to speak about some concerns that residents within Lakeview have expressed to myself and some other members from the Lakeview Civic Association. One of the concerns we have is for the Peace Garden. The lights have been out for about 2 years, and we would like to find out if there is a plan to replace the light bulbs on the street. We have a few roads that are in need of repair and maintenance. There was the Living with the Bays project that occurred in our area where all of these beautiful sidewalks and streetscapes were put in. However, they're not being maintained. The weeds are over 4 feet tall, and we wanted to make sure that those are actually going to be maintained. We have, and I can give you some streets so you have a point of reference. The first street is going to be on Main Avenue and between Langton Boulevard and Peninsula Boulevard. We have the islands that go down Langton Boulevard. They started the project last year, and they said they were going to come back to complete it. However, they never came back to finish it. So we have about 3 islands that have not been completed. We also have residents who requested a sidewalk on a very dangerous street on Tanglewood Road, closer towards Ocean Avenue. There's a very bad curve there, you cannot see, and people do walk up and down that street, but it's extremely dangerous, especially at nighttime, for there not to be a sidewalk there. We also have complaints about the new storage site that has not been zoned for storage of vehicles at the intersection of Eagle Avenue and Woodville Road. There have been tons of commercial vehicles parked there. I've called myself, I've foiled, I've asked for information, and we have not gotten any updates as to what is actually happening at that site. But now the cars, originally they started at just the building that burned down, but it is now expanded up until right before the new construction or masonry shop. And then our last question would be when our pools will be upgraded. We did send over an email asking for an update as to when the pools will be updated. We do know that Echo Pool was recently updated, but our community has been requesting for some shading for the benches, and we would like to see either a splash pad or water slide or something in the pool area.
Just so you know, I guess I'd say, who's the county legislator over there, do you know?
That's Seala by now.
Okay, well, I'll have to reach this out, it's Sealand, because the Peace Guard is actually run by the county, so.
But it's maintained by the town.
No.
That's
we'll
the agreement, because we saw.
We're happy to check on you, that's fine. I know that Living by the Bays was a state program. The roads you pointed out were partial state and partial county. I know the deputy supervisor was saying that, and I know that the Tanglewood Road, if I'm not mistaken, is a county road as well. And I'm happy to have my Parks Commissioner get your name and address after to talk to you about some of the ideas of the park. I know that we just put in the pickleball down there too, and I know you've got some upgrades. We're happy to work with you.
Wait, I thought it was going to be, the tennis courts were going to be redone, not changed into pickleball courts, because the tennis courts are used by residents.
Well, like I said, you can see from the pictures, we get inundated with requests, and so you can talk to the Parks Commissioner about it. Right now, I'll take your name and number, happy, but I will reach out to the county and the state about those roads. But the one thing I will tell you that I'm concerned about, even though it's a county road, I know you made the comment about the Eagle Avenue and the storage facility there, and I will tell you, I'll have our building department go out there and check on that, okay? The other ones, you know, look, and I get it, if there is an agreement we're supposed to do the lights or something like that, I'm happy to do it, but when it comes to some of the state stuff, or they're putting a sidewalk in the county road, you know, your legislator's a really nice person to work with, and we'll be happy to work with her.
Okay.
All right? No problem. Next I have Ms. Meredith. Ms. Meredith, it's your opportunity to speak. Your name and address, please. Thank you.
Wait, hello, not six. Rita J. Meredith, where does one begin again with regard to this situation? There's no point, again, since you made your sidebar comment about me not addressing the admin calendar. What's the point? You have a number of items here, 29 and 30, that talk about an emerging contaminant issue on a water system that's going to be further challenged with the environmentally unjustified casino. You got lack of diversity. Resolution number 24, establishing a panel of engineering consulting firms. You're going to have the same people, okay? It's all about donor-based. It's not based upon the interest of the voters. Same with 35, authorizing the ratification and affirmation of various teacher-lecturer agreements. Who are you looking at to be these teachers and lecturers? You're not looking in the community's diversity. So what's the point in talking about an admin calendar? Now, the other issue, we have communities where we have our young people who go to other communities and they get terrorized. But hey, it's only Roosevelt, right? So when they go into other communities, no one says much about it. But if those two communities came into Roosevelt, there would be a big stink. Well, guess what? I'm a proud resident, born and raised in Roosevelt. I care about the students in those communities, in the Roosevelts, the Hempsteads, the Uniondales. If no one wants to raise their voice who's supposed to represent their interests, I will. The water quality issue. I fought against the rate hikes. I went to those meetings. Where was my elected officials? Nowhere to be seen. You have an opportunity now to address those issues with Liberty now trying to raise water rates on our residents, including our seniors and our veterans. Where are our elected officials? Nowhere to be seen, except now you want to run around and jump behind all of these promotions to get yourself reelected. And you're not representing my interests. So yeah, I got my boots on. I'm ready. Bad back, 4 herniated discs and all, and I'm ready. And we need to get other residents to step up, because just because you think the issues that are impacting one particular class is impacting all of us. Over 1 million African Americans served in World War II, thinking that they were fighting for victory in Europe, in Japan, as well as victory at home, just to get screwed over. This is America's first suburb, but it's still, according to CEOs on Wall Street, the most segregated community in the country. Guess what? We shall not be moved. We still learn how to read and write under the cover of darkness and death. Don't think a few decisions by some age-old conservatives are going to change us now. And yes, I used my time and I'll sit down now because I'm ready.
I'm going to,
Run out
I don't have
and do what
any
you
other
need to do.
slips of anybody who would like to hear in the public comment. If not, I would tell everybody to have a wonderful day and stay cool and enjoy your July. Thank you all very, very much.
I'm not what you mean by the table. You can't eat on the